Thanks for your support as a channel member, Ole Gunnar Kvam. I hope I've said your name right for the first one of these. Ladies and gentlemen, today is one of those days where if it all goes wrong, goodness me, does it all go wrong? We've got the second leg of the Champions League knockout round against Celtic, which is quite finely poised. Is that how you say that? After the first leg, and then Manchester United in the league, and they're top of the league at the moment, so that one really is must win. Hello and welcome to part 227 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have that Champions League round game knockout. Those words are in the wrong order. Against Celtic and the big Premier League game against Manchester United. Since you were last with me, this is what's happened. We beat Arsenal comfortably in our rivals match and then pathetically lost against Southampton. We were awful in that game. And Thor's terrible run continues. And I don't know what to do about him. Augusto's only just returning to fitness. Diarra's still not fit, so Augusto kind of needs to come straight back in on that left-hand side. You can't scroll to find a goal for Thor. Oh, you can. There you go. Back in. It's ever since the moment he found out he'd missed out on the Ballon d'Or, he's just collapsed. He's just not scored since then. Mira goes from strength to strength with Paris Saint-Germain. Thor can't handle the fact he's not the best player in the world anymore, and he's now not even the best striker at home. He needs to sort himself out, but without Mira here and any viable competition for him, there's not really much I can do other than continue to play him. The Premier League, which was the other thing I was going to show you, looks like this. Come on, game. There we go. So Manchester United are top, but we do have a game in hand. So if we win our game in hand and beat them, we'll be, 4 points clear? Which is nice and comfortable heading into the end of the season. But I don't like how close this is. We haven't had a title race for a good few years now, and I don't like it. I don't encourage it. And of course, Celtic, we are ahead against after the first leg, but goodness me, did we make hard work of it. So job number one is to sort out Celtic, hopefully get Thor scoring again, and make less of a meal of it than we did the first leg. So we're going with Powell in goal, a back four of Silvio, Juranovic, Lee and Joksimovic, Cristiano and Robert in midfield, Augusto, Silva and Goff behind Thor up front. Interestingly, if we have a look at the club top scorers as well, Thor is being caught by Drame, Young, Goff. They're all into double figures now. We've got Augusto and Silva and Flager, Diarra, Zupancic. There's lots of players scoring lots of goals. What we don't have this year is the one man scoring all the goals, which is what's been so key to our success in the last couple of years. I mean, let's face it, if it hadn't been for Thor doing Thor things and single-handedly winning matches, we still wouldn't have won the Champions League at this point of the save, because he did kind of grab that final by the scruff of the neck last year and go and win it by himself. And Mira was absolutely nowhere to be seen in that game, completely absent. He was on the pitch, just absent. But I don't know, things don't seem the same without him. I'm regretting letting him go, even though he didn't want to be here. So he would have continued to cause problems if he'd have stayed. But goodness me, has it caused problems that he's left and we haven't replaced him? All that time of me saying, we've got Augusto, we don't need to replace him. I think we needed him and Augusto to provide proper competition, especially as we don't have, especially with Diarra being injured as well. There is Augusto forcing the save out the Celtic keeper, who of course had an excellent game in that first leg. I think I'm going to take Thor off. He's now picked up an injury as well. We've got Young on the bench, and I think I'm just going to give Ben Young an hour playing as a striker in the Champions League, just to say to him, look, go out there and show me why you're also an elite striker, why you're also one of the best strikers in the world. He's one of our top scorers. He plays well whenever he's in the team. Manchester City have been chasing him, so he's not rubbish. Let's give him a go. I don't have enough confidence in him, and I need to have more confidence in him, because I think we're going to need him, especially if that's a proper injury to Thor. First half means nothing. Exactly. First half does mean nothing. Go out there, sort your lives out, win a football match. We are at home, struggling against a team we should be much better than. This is the run into this season. It's like, do you remember when the first time Alex Ferguson announced he was leaving Manchester United and the wheels fell off and he ended up staying? I almost feel like that's what's happening here. I've announced my retirement, even though in game I haven't at all. Obviously, there's no way to do that. But I've announced my retirement to you lot, and all of a sudden, the wheels have fallen off. And it's like the players have decided they don't want to... he's leaving. There's no point playing for him anymore. And I'm sat here thinking, there's not a chance I'm leaving if we don't win everything this year. So if we don't sort ourselves out soon, I'm going to forget my retirement plan and do another 10 years or whatever it is Alex Ferguson did. It was a long time after that initial retirement threat, wasn't it? Right. Silva not playing well. He was so good at the start of the season, but Drame really forcing his way into the team as a proper viable option as the attacking midfielder. He's a cultured attacking midfielder, it said under his name there. I've not seen that before. For anyone, not just for him. Who have we got? We've got Zupancic as another potential game changer. Let's get him on for Cristiano. I mean, we are through if it ends like this, but goodness me, are we going the hard way about it? Augusto, with the free kick, forces the save. Drame's offside, though. And yikes. Are we really not going to score? Zupancic across to Robert. Robert from range, off the top of the crossbar, and their keeper makes it was the bottom of the crossbar, not the top. But either way, the keeper managed to keep hold of it. This goalkeeper is playing very well for Celtic. Why has he been playing in Scotland for 10 years? We looked at him in the last episode. I feel like he could have had a proper elite level European career if he'd have left Celtic. Take Lee as an example of someone who's done exactly that. But he seems to have stayed there whilst amassing over 100 caps and playing brilliantly in both legs of this tie. Right. Is that it? It is it. That was pretty pathetic. I think we need we may have won, but I'm unhappy with the performance. I think that's fair. That's fired them up. And hopefully we can stay fired up through the Leicester game that I'm going to play offline and into that Manchester United game, which is proper must-win stuff. If we lose against Manchester United, and let's face it, we usually do. So this is going to be interesting. Thor's facing a confidence crisis. And he's injured now. What am I supposed to do? Can I talk to him? Warn player. Shall I criticise his recent form? Even though he's having a confidence crisis. It's just, I don't want to do it publicly. I want to have a conversation with him. We'll leave it. Let's go play Leicester. Well, happy days, everybody. We beat Leicester. Not only did we beat Leicester, but Thor came off the bench with 20 minutes to go and scored a wonder goal as well. So hopefully that's him back and I can stop panicking. But in the meantime, before the Manchester United game, we have got the Champions League quarter-final draw. So it's Atletico Madrid, us, Marseille, Schalke, Bayern Munich, Inter, Roma and Benfica. I mean, we can beat any of them. We're the reigning champions. I would like to avoid Bayern Munich and Inter, though, because we know they're both quite good. So, Benfica. This one will do. We'll take Benfica. Atletico. Schalke. We'll take Schalke. Inter. So, ideally, we want Marseille or Roma here. This is going to be us, isn't it? It's going to be a replay of the last final in the quarter-final. Oh, it is. It's done the pause. Oh, my word, that's about as hard a quarter-final as we can possibly get. That will obviously be tomorrow's episode. Yikes. Okay. Just have to find a way past them. But first we need to find a way past Manchester United. This final season is shaping up to be rather tough. So here we go then, Manchester United, and this is the team we are going with. I think it's very similar to the team in the last game you saw. There are a few changes, though, probably. And I've played again. I'm confused. Let's just reintroduce the team. Powell in goal. A back four of Silvio, Juranovic, Lee and Mayer. Zupancic and Robert in midfield. Augusto, Silva and Goff supporting Thor up front. Let's get into the game. Remember, this is must win. If we win this match, then we're looking pretty good for a will it be sixth consecutive Premier League title victory or fifth? I can't even remember how many we've done now. Let's assertively say we own Manchester United. But of course, if United win, that puts them 3 points clear of us, although we will still have a very important game in hand and better goal difference. So it's not over if we lose, but being 3 points clear with a game in hand and a better goal difference and 7 games to play, it's close to over if we win. But we are obviously at their place. And the last few times we've played Manchester United, they've taught us a bit of a lesson. They kind of do have our number. So we need a big performance today and hope that they get stage fright. It's a weird kind of reversal from where things would have been when we were trying to win the Premier League for the first time 8 or 9 years ago, in that we're the team that's been there, done that, all the experience. Whereas United, nobody in this Manchester United team will have won the Premier League since they've been there. This is new ground for them. They're in a title race. They're trying to win the Premier League. And we're the established superpower, the established force that need displacing, but with an ageing team. Obviously, Lee, 29, Zupancic, 28-ish, Cristiano in his 30s, Goff and Flager in their 30s. We're not the youngsters we used to be. And the one that got away, Nick Wilson, has just had a goal disallowed for Manchester United. So we just need, let's have 10 minutes of passion just to refocus ourselves a little bit. I do feel like this team, whoever takes over from me as manager, has got a bit of a rebuild job on, because there's so many of them who are just tipping over the other side of their prime. They were all at their prime when we won the Champions League. And I think there is, like I say, a rebuild that needs doing. And there's no money to do it with. So it is going to be interesting when we do that 5 years in the future video to see what happens to home, because differently to how it was with Sevilla in Non-League to Legend this year, where although we had financial issues, we had a very young team with a lot of excellent youngsters coming through. This home team is an ageing team that's going to need replacing and doesn't own a ground and is constantly losing money, even regardless of the transfer policy. This club runs at a loss. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't want to have to do it. Actually, I would. It sounds like it would be a lot of fun. I might keep the save going as a little offline thing. We'll see. We all know I'm not going to touch FM19 once 20 years out. That's a great save from Powell in goal. Holme always has a Powell, as we all know. The best goalkeeper in the world, making saves when it matters. And Goff's been fouled on the edge of the area there. And I'm glancing down at my bench thinking, what do we do to go and grab a winner? We've made it 70 minutes in. How do we go and win this game? Thor has been poor again. I'm going to bring Diarra on for him and push Augusto up top. I think that's a more sensible change than just bringing Young on. And then I also want to freshen things up in midfield a little bit. He says he doesn't have any midfielders on the bench, so we're not going to do that at all. We're going to bring Aleth on for Silvio, because we all know how good Mark Aleth is, and he's having a little bit of a rest today. Silvio and Aleth, it's the same as Flager and Goff on the wing. They're both very similar quality players, so I tend to rotate them, but Aleth probably has a little bit more going forward. Zupancic now plays it to Diarra, to Aleth in our new look left-hand side, full of pace and energy and crossing. That's where the goal's going to come from if we get one. I suggest it might also be where the goal comes from if they get one too. Powell with another fantastic save, and it's cleared up our left-hand side. And I'm looking at the bench again and thinking, right, final change. Who's it going to be? Drame, I think, is the man. He's been in fantastic form all season. Let's get him on. Let's have another 10 minutes of passion to finish things off. Drame plays it across to Lee. Lee forward to Zupancic and Robert now in midfield. Lee sprays it out to Mayer on the right-hand side, who's got Goff ahead of him. Goff tucks inside to Zupancic. Plays it back to Lee. It's nice, patient build-up, as long as we're not losing the ball here and setting up a chance for United. Oh, Goff's with the cross there, and Diarra scores! Oh, my word. That was a disaster for Manchester United. It was brilliant from Goff, and Diarra's there to score yet again. But this is terrible. I don't know what they're thinking here. We had both Augusto and Goff ready for that. Goff's probably cursing at Augusto for making it harder than it needed to be, because if Augusto had left that to Goff and just stood on the 6-yard line, it's an easy tap-in for him. As it is, the cross had to be perfect onto the head of Diarra, and it was. But United have equalised almost immediately. I haven't finished my superlatives yet, and they've already got a goal back. Yikes. We've woken them up. We didn't want to wake them up. I mean, it's from a corner. It's a set piece. We should have cleared there through Alith, and we didn't. And Powell, after playing so well, probably should have done a little bit better with that. But, a draw is still good. A draw is still fine. Let's demand more for the last few seconds of the game. Drame, Goff with the cross, and that's it. 1-1 at Old Trafford is fine. We've still got a game in hand. We were unlucky today. I think we did well to get ourselves ahead. Diarra's got man of the match. If ever there was an example of just, he's the one who scored the goal, give him man of the match. He was on the pitch for 20 minutes, and that's all he did, was nod the ball in from a lovely cross. But we have, that's significant in this title race. But we forget about the Premier League now for an episode, because tomorrow is going to be all about Bayern Munich again. Both legs tomorrow. I'm not scared. You're scared. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.